Chapter 8 is on something called confidence intervals. I want to revisit our statistical process, remind ourselves where we're at in this process. We have spent the last bit of time assessing uncertainty. We've been looking at probability, we've been looking at probability distributions, and we've been looking most recently at the probability distribution of X bar, the sample mean. We are now in inferential statistics. Okay, we have come all this way so far, and we'll spend the rest of our time doing inferential statistics. So we looked at sample mean quite a bit, and that's an example of a descriptive statistic. And we know that X bar, the sample mean, estimates a population mean, which is, we use mu to stand for, and it's just a single value. And because it's a single value, we refer to it as a point estimate. It's just one single point. Now, if we take that point estimate, that descriptive statistic, and we assess the uncertainty, and we add a measure of reliability, or we add to it some kind of probability, so we add that to the point estimate, what we end up with is an interval estimate. Okay, so a point is one single value. An interval is a range of values, all right, going from a minimum value to a maximum value. And in particular, we call that a confidence interval. So the interval part tells us we're going from one single value as an estimate to a range of values as an estimate for our population mean. And then the confidence part is what is adding that measure of uncertainty. The confidence part is saying we can have a certain level of confidence, a certain level of reliability in our estimate of that true population mean. So now it's time for you to do, if you haven't already, the first part of the Collaborate activity. You'll find the link to, it's a different Collaborate sheet than we have looked at before. It's called Collaborate CI, or Collaborate Confidence Interval. And it is a collection of samples from the population of mean private university tuition by state. So each of the sample members is an average private university tuition for a particular state. So population size is 51. We have 50 states in Washington, D.C. And I've calculated the population standard deviation, 5,640. We'll need that later. So your part of the Collaborate project for part 1 here is to just calculate the mean of your sample. So you can use the Google Sheet function to do that, or you can do that by hand, however you want. But go ahead and calculate those means, calculate your mean, and then you'll see it pop up on the scatter chart that's below. Okay, I have one fix to this Collaborate activity part 1. The standard deviation is actually, I've switched some numbers there, that should actually be 5,460. All right, so that number is going to show up later on as we calculate confidence intervals. So go ahead and make that change on your notes. All right, thanks.